Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. Have you ever felt while being in a relationship that the other person starts picking up a fight over nothing and you feel like it's some sort of excuse to get out of it? Well, this one is from user TDrive1300. My 34 male girlfriend, 26 female of 6 months, won't talk to me over an incident that happened 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, my girlfriend came to my house after eating dinner at her friend's place. When she arrived, she brought her dog into my house, which is perfectly fine as I love dogs, and my dogs get along with hers really well. While she was squatting down and playing with her dog, I let my dogs in from outside to come in and say hi because they love her and she loves them. In the mayhem, one of my dogs came in for a snuggle or lick, nothing aggressive. Girlfriend and dog bumped heads really hard and ended up chipping my girlfriend's tooth. I immediately put my dogs outside and checked on her to find out her tooth was indeed chipped. After trying to hug her, asking if she was okay, if I could get her anything, she went to the bathroom to see it in the mirror and she had to pee, so I left. I stood outside the door for a minute or so, telling her I was worried about what happened and that I'll pay for it. I went outside to clear my head a bit to give her space. When I'm angry or annoyed, I don't like people constantly asking me if I'm okay. Until I noticed the light from the bathroom door opening, and so I went inside and the dogs followed me. When I walked in, she started picking up her stuff right away and leaving while barely talking to me. She was worried because she had an important meeting on Saturday and didn't want to look effed up. Totally understandable. She eventually tells me that she's not mad at the dog, of course. She's mad because of me letting the dogs back in right after it happened. I tried to explain that I wasn't thinking about that because I was coming to check on her as she had been bleeding from her gums the last time I saw it. She told me she was done and that she wouldn't be coming back to my house anytime in the near future. But I let things go, thinking she was just caught up in the anger of the moment. That was on a Wednesday night. The very next day, she was able to get an appointment with her dentist and get the tooth fixed. Excellent! That night, I asked her if we could get together to discuss what happened and see how to move forward because I really like this girl. She wasn't distant towards me, but also wasn't touching me, so I knew something was off. We had our drinks, talked, and she said she doesn't know what to think about us. I've been ghosted before and I hate it, so I requested that she not ghost me and just tell me to leave her alone so I could begin to heal. I dropped her off at her car, no hug or anything, and she leaves. We talk a bit, but the next day she had to drive out of state to do her meeting. I text her that night asking if she got there okay. She says yes, and I say, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Because we have a mutual friend whose birthday party was that Saturday. I'm headed out to join the group when she texts me asking me what I meant by see you tomorrow, and I told her I was going to our friend's birthday. Well, this set her off on a whole other tangent about how I should have asked her if it was cool with her if I went because of what we're going through. I told her I thought it would be fine since we had hung out the other night and figure we could at least be cordial throughout the night. She insisted that people would notice if we weren't hugging or anything. I disagreed because I'm not really into personal displays of affection and we don't hang all over each other normally anyway. But I understood why she wouldn't want me there and I said no problem, I won't go, I'll make other plans. This wasn't good enough because she then proceeded to tell me that I had already ruined her mood by making her be mean and asking me not to go. I tried to say I wasn't upset that she did it to try and make her feel better, but that didn't work either. We talked back and forth for about 45 minutes with nothing getting resolved except me saying I wasn't going despite her saying that she was now only going to drop by for an hour or so just to say hi and happy birthday to our friend. That was almost 2 weeks ago and she still barely talks to me and won't see me. Most people I know can easily move on from a relationship and on to the next, but I've never been that person. When I genuinely care about someone, I try to put everything I have into them and into us, putting myself out there. This hasn't worked for me as I keep getting hurt because I don't know how to protect my feelings. I really do care about this girl, and I've apologized numerous times, but I still don't know what to do. Even today, she told me that she still doesn't know what she wants. I'm trying to toe a fine line between giving her space, but still keeping her close because I don't want to lose her. We get along great normally, with only a few stupid arguments here and there, which we work out. I want to talk to our friends about it, but I don't want word to get back to her because I don't think they know the full story, and I know she doesn't want all of this out there yet. What should I do? So this is the debate for this video. Is the girlfriend here trying to find whatever excuse to get out of this 6-month-old relationship? Is OP reading too much into things? Is she just having a hard time? What do you think is going on here? A short side note, as you know, I recently launched memberships on my channel, and one of the things I want to do is have a live stream where we discuss the week's stories and we also review comments from you guys. So before I tell you guys what I think, let's move on with the community comments to see what they had to say about this. Hotspur Jr. says, "You should stop tiptoeing around. The simple truth is that she's acting like a child. You handled this properly, accidents happen. You letting the dogs back in wasn't unreasonable, and you gave her room to have an emotional reaction and start acting normal. So, you should stop thinking or feeling that you did anything wrong. You didn't. An accident happened, it's not even like the dog misbehaved. You should stop apologizing. If the dogs had been aggressive and misbehaving, then letting them in would have not been okay. But that doesn't sound like it was the case. I know this runs counter to all of your instincts, but this is one of those situations where being like, okay, I've done what I can do, if you want to come back around and be my girlfriend, great, but I'm done waiting, is more likely than anything else to get her to come back to you. OP responds, thank you. I know what you're saying is right, I just have a hard time doing that, haha. And you're correct, that they weren't being aggressive or misbehaving, just excited, high energy dogs. Toto604 says, it sounds to me that she wanted to end the relationship or something wasn't working out, and she is using this chipped tooth incident as the trigger to break up with you. I think you deserve better. It is time to move on. OP responds, I've been thinking the same thing. Like, there's a bigger issue here. Thank you. Iceberg Mama says, I don't know. She just sounds very immature and unreasonable. Very possible she was looking for an out and this was it. I agree with the community commenters here. I do think that the girlfriend was trying to find a way out of the relationship, even if it sounds childish, you know, oh, I got a chipped tooth, I'm done with you. What I don't understand is what reason could you have to try to find something to get out of a relationship? It's only a 6-month relationship. It's not like you've been invested in almost planning a wedding or anything like that. You can easily say, hey, you know what? You're cool and all, and I like you, but I don't like you that way, and I don't think we can be a couple anymore. Let's move on. That's totally fine, right? I mean, do these people think they need to protect the other person's feelings, or that if they break up, they're gonna look bad or something like that? I think this kind of excuse doesn't give proper closure, and that might even be worse, in some cases. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on with the update to see what happened. Well, I was finally able to see her over the weekend for my and someone else's birthday celebration. It wasn't a formal birthday party, just hanging at a friend's house during the day and going out later on. She basically ignored me at the friend's house, and when I tried to get a minute to talk to her about what was going on, she wouldn't spare a few minutes to let me say my piece. She did tell me she was pretty much done after the initial birthday incident a few weeks ago, even though she kept telling me she didn't know how she felt or what she wanted yet. It's been a few days and the rose-colored glasses are beginning to come off. I still think about her and want to be with her, but it's getting better by the day. I've also started to try to remember certain things that bugged me about her in an attempt to help me move on because I've always had an issue with only remembering the good. Thank you all for your insights and advice. It helped me come to terms with the fact that she overreacted and wanted out anyway, and this was just a good enough reason. Edit. Wow, so many people have wished me luck and brought up some thoughts I've had as well. Thank you all so much for your insights and ideas. Anytime I find myself thinking about or missing her, I will come back and read these comments to push me through. Edit 2. Somebody asked in the comments what hobby she was trying to get into. I play tennis recreationally and I'm not sure if she was trying to get better at it for me, but she mentioned it several times that she would like for us to go and play together. She even got one of our friends who also plays tennis to take her out and show her some drills she could use to help improve her game. She texted me last night saying she had some things to say, and clearly I do too. So could we call and talk sometime? I said sure, just let me know. So that's it, that's all we know from OP's perspective. Now in the comment section for this update, and this is just to add to the debate, some commenters brought up that OP wrote this story so very clearly from his side that we may be missing something from her. So I'm just gonna read one comment and a reply that can give a little bit to the debate. Jay Birdie says, I can't help but feel like there's more to this story. You've written it so carefully with all the cues for the audience to sympathize with you and know that you're a good person. If this is true and exactly as you're saying, then it sucks. But I guarantee if we got a post from her perspective, everyone in the comments would be sympathizing with her. Jitterybug tries to do a post as from the girlfriend's perspective. This is it. My 26 ex 34 won't leave me alone after I dumped him several weeks ago. How should I approach this? I told him I was done, and on advice from my friends, I went mostly no contact. He kept pressing me to give him answers, but I was pretty clear with him when I said I wasn't ready to talk and just wanted some space. My friends say that I don't owe him an explanation, and in the past, those conversations just never go well and guys get hostile or pushy. We saw each other at a mutual friend's party the other day. I was actively avoiding him, but he kept hounding me for attention. He's nice, but it just wasn't a good fit, and I'm more and more anxious about how to approach us since he hasn't taken any hints and we have the same friend group. Any advice? To the original comment, OP responds, you're not the first person to feel this way. That's why I included every detail I could think of, including she wasn't mad at the dogs. She was mad that I let them back inside so soon after it happened. And yes, some people agreed I shouldn't have let them back inside so soon, but it doesn't require this kind of escalation. I've tried to talk to her to understand why she felt this was an appropriate response, but I always got shut down with, I don't have time this week, and I still don't know how I feel. I wrote carefully to include every detail, not just details that would make people sympathize with me. Okay, well, that gives us another edge to this whole debate. Was the ex-girlfriend just trying to find a way out of this relationship and using any excuse she could to do that? And on that point, is OP not taking the hint that she's done and she doesn't really want to spend any time explaining herself to him? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And so we've reached the end of the video. I truly hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead and click like. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, here are more videos from my channel that you might enjoy. And having said all that, I will see you guys on the next video.